Well, y'all, the power went out, so I have nothing to do but to start this reading vlog. This week is going to be a very K-pop filled week. My hair looks absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with it. Back to why this is such a K-pop filled week for me. Today, Twice is going to be at the XL Energy Center, and I did get tickets for my niece and my sister to go see them with myself. I personally have never heard Twice before. I mean, I may have heard their songs, but I have never actively listened to them because the concert's tonight. I have a list of recommended songs from Twice fans to check out. Back when I was active on TikTok, I had been like, oh my god, I got tickets to Twice, but I've never heard them before, so let me know what songs I should listen to. So I took the top songs that multiple people recommended. I have a little playlist of them. We may or may not listen to them while I'm getting ready for the concert, depending on when the power comes back on. It's not just the Twice concert tonight. I also have 2 K-pop inspired books that I would love to read for y'all. Let's start with the one I am the most excited to read, which is Holy Boy by Lee Hee-ju. I'm not going to lie though, as excited as I am to read this book, I have seen 2 people DNF this book. One of them, I don't know the person personally, so I don't know if we have similar reading taste. The other one was Gavin from Gavin Reads It All, and while we don't have like identical reading taste, I will say that I trust his take on books. So we'll see. We'll see. One thing I will note though, I am a thriller girly. Gavin, he'll read thrillers, but I don't think he loves them as much as I love them. Okay, so what is Holy Boy about? Quick and dirty of it all, it is about a K-pop idol who is kidnapped by 2 fanatics. Not just fans, fanatics. Deranged fanatics. Even though a couple people have DNF'd it, I am still very excited to read it. And you know what? What better time to start reading books than during a power outage? However, I will say, like, the power outage came at the most inconvenient time. Like, I'm glad it happened in the morning so that I could get ready for the event later in the day, because it's later in the day. But I literally had just started making breakfast, and we have an electric stove, not a gas stove. This is why we need to rethink gas stoves, people, okay? I could still be making breakfast, even with the electricity out. And I had just put a load of laundry in the washing machine. So yeah, not the greatest timing, but hopefully, you know, power will be restored in a timely manner. We're gonna start out with Cry For Me, and we'll see how this goes. Already loving the intro. We all know how I feel about orchestral music being intertwined into songs, so very excited about this. Okay. Ooh. I like the crossover to that transition. Ooh, I love this part with the piano. What? I love that ending. Love that ending. I want you to die for me. So Cry For Me. That was good. That was good. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to female K-pop groups, I don't usually love the music that's put out. A lot of times it's just a little bit too bubblegum pop for me, but if Cry For Me is a good sampling of Twice, we might have a good time. I like edgier, grungier music. I think that's why for me, I gravitate towards Stray Kids and ATEEZ. I feel like a lot of K-pop girl groups are just a little bit too pop for me, but that was good. I like that. Also, again, I love when more like classical instruments are intertwined into honestly any genre of music. You throw it in country, you throw it in rap, you throw it in pop, you throw it in R&B. Just like it just adds a beautiful note to music that I feel, especially in this day and age, is missing. Like, so much music nowadays feels almost soulless because it's all electronic, and it's just always nice to have those more classical elements intertwined. I'm gonna start reading Holy Boy once I finish my hair, and I'll check in with you guys in like an hour or two. Hopefully next time I check in with you guys, the power will be back on. So the power turned on probably right after I finished filming that reaction, which means we're back on track with doing laundry and making breakfast. I made my own shirt for tonight. I wanted to like have a easy breezy cute outfit, so I'm literally wearing black jeans, the shirt I'm about to show you, and I think I'm gonna wear like a bandana. Originally, I was going to buy myself a shirt because I did buy my niece a shirt. It's really cute. I bought it on Etsy. She picked this one because she said it is like the most kid-friendly option I sent her. All the other ones would make her seem more like a teenager. Her words, not mine. So adorable. I was like, it looks really cute on pink, but she wanted the sky blue. For me, I'm pretty sure I need to iron it, but I like it a lot. I think it's really cute. I just wanted something a little bit more, I wanted something twice, but I wanted something a little bit more Midwestern. I thought the hunter orange on the camo was the move. The pants I'm wearing are a wide leg, just black pant. That's the outfit we're wearing tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to folding clothes, finishing this video, and starting Holy Boy sometime this century.
Like she was like,
All of the people who need to be dropped off have been dropped off. Last night was such a good time. I'll probably debrief you guys when I'm actually driving home. So there was a little pop-up shop that's in downtown, and I want to see if they have any cutesy little Twice things. They said they were selling Twice, Stray Kids stuff, and something else. By the time we got to the venue, which was still an hour almost before the concert, a lot of stuff had already sold out at merch, which, I mean, fair, whatever. But we were really hoping to buy a light stick. Oh my god, y'all. So glad I went. The room that the little pop-up shop was in was filled to the brim. Honestly, predominantly of Stray Kids stuff, but that could also be because Twice stuff sold out. However, there was such a cute heavyweight zip-up for Twice. I wanted to buy it, but it was like 120 bucks, and I'm like, I can't justify it for a group whose music I am not fully immersed in. With that noted, I may have purchased myself a light stick. I didn't realize how far away I parked from the place until, honestly, I was probably a block away from it. And I was like, I parked really far away from this place. But I'm not gonna lie. How I found out about the K-pop pop-up store was it was an Instagram post, and the post itself looked really not questionable. It looked questionable. The graphics were a choice. You know, I would have made slightly different choices, but oh my god, I'm so glad I went. They had so much there. They obviously had Twice stuff. I would say like the two predominant groups was Twice and Stray Kids. Thankfully, a lot of Stray Kids merch is Skazoo stuff. And personally, while like Skazoos are cute, I don't need 1,000,001 like plushies or figurines or just random bits and bobs of the Skazoos. So I got a Wolf-chan. That's all I got. They had the duet accordion. They had the duet accordions. Felix got the day it came out. Hyunjin, I miraculously stumbled across one day. And Bangchan, I have not been able to find him at all. It's impossible to find him. They had all of the members at the pop-up, so I finally got my Bangchan. One of our big things with the concert last night was that the two merch stands we stopped by, the one we for sure were in was sold out, and I didn't see it at the first one we kind of swung by. So did I tell you what? Light sticks. We were looking for the candy bongs and couldn't find them at all. Oh, well, that kind of sucks because like the whole like light sticks are such a part of like the K-pop concert experience. So while there was like a decent amount in the crowd, I don't know, you think you'd want more. So we were a little bummed that we didn't get at the concert. However, when I was at the store, as I was checking out, because they weren't by the rest of the light sticks, they had like a whole box of light sticks. And I'm just like, oh my god. So I definitely got one for Bug. And then I decided to get one for myself because why not, you know? Oh my god, are you guys ready for a little haul? Excellent, because I'm ready for a little haul. I'm still figuring out how to wear this because this is not your standard cut baseball hat, or at least not anything I'm used to. So typically with hats, I'm able to like do this. I like a tight bill, but this hat is like a little constructed a little wide and also a little high. It like peaks up a little bit. It's almost comb head effect, literally made of denim. And maybe that's why the structure feels so off, is because I've never owned a denim hat. I think all of mine are like canvas. Okay, next, at the concert last night, I did get a t-shirt. This one, I would say, is probably their most basic one, but honestly, it's my kind of style. So we have Twice, just super easy on the front, and then on the back it says, "This is for World Tour 2026," And then obviously it has all of the pit stops. Oh, and also it says twice this is for, but that this is for is in black, so it's not really that legible. But I kind of like that. I feel like oftentimes when people, even if they're playing at the X, they refer to the city that they're in as the Twin Cities, which I prefer. But then also I've seen it referred to a lot as Minneapolis. And I'm just like, ugh. But you're in St. Paul. Like, you're in the literal capital of the state. I know Minneapolis is the more well-known city, but you're in St. Paul. But they, like, all night, the girls were constantly saying St. Paul. They're like, hi, St. Paul, how are you? It was really cute. But anyways, that's all I got at the concert, the hat and the shirt. That's it. Now, at the K-pop pop-up shop, I did purchase, I pretty much told you guys what I got, but I'm just going to show you anyways. Our duet Bangchan. Let's open him, see what's up. I really like the aesthetic and vibes of the duet concept art. And so honestly, when they first released what the covers were gonna look like, I'm like, oh, I need one of each, please. But ultimately, Hyunjin and Bangchan were the ones I for sure wanted. Okay, we won't be opening this right now. And then Felix was just like, well, he's the only one that I see. Next, I did tell you guys I got a little Wolf-chan. This comes with the stand. And I think it's supposed to have like a yeah, he has little magnets in his feet. So he just stands on his little stand. I love that so much. I was debating on getting more, but this was $35. This, right here. This alone was $35. I'm like, I'm good. The CD was cheaper than Wolf-chan. And then my niece wanted a plushie, but they weren't selling plushies at the event. So I picked her up a little plushie. She really liked the royal blue one. She got like a little freebie giveaway. They were like teeny tiny little keychains of the lovelies. And she got like the royal blue lovely, who is Suvli. And then as I noted, as I was literally going to check out, I saw these. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys still have the light sticks? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, grab one. So I went to go grab one for my niece. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just get one for myself. Will I ever be at a Twice concert where I need a light stick? Probably not, but look at these. This would have been so fun to have at the actual concert though. So we'll have Twice, and then for sure I will eventually get a Stray Kids one. That's my little haul. Let's talk about the concert though. Concert was absolutely phenomenal, amazing. Again, I've never been to a concert at the X, so I don't know if this is across the board how the experience is for all concerts or if it was specifically for Twice, but oh my God, I could feel the music in my soul. Like, you could feel the bass. It was wild. It's like the entire time. I wasn't planning on bringing earplugs at all, but my sister was bringing hers. My niece had her headphones. And so I was like, I mean, I have loops. Why not? I'll bring my loops. Really glad I did. I didn't wear them in both ears, but I did wear them. This is like my bad ear. So I popped that in for like the half of the show. Not only was the music itself loud, but like the fans were the fans were crazy. My one complaint, but this is all making sense now, is that when the girls first started, unless they were actively like the one singing, most of them kind of looked like they were just going through the motions of like, you know, being in the concert, and which was kind of like shitty at first, because like the concert had just started. Some of them were looking very not interested or into it. And this is how I've discovered my bias for Twice, is because the entire concert, Chiyo, she was the hype man of the group. She was going crazy. She was just like, oh my God. The entire time she was moving and grooving, I'm obsessed with her. I love her. She's my favorite human being on the face of the planet. And I mean, of course, they're all gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, amazing. But I don't know, she just had a little bit of something to her. It was broken up into 4 acts in an encore or 3 acts in an encore. I can't quite remember. But I would say after the first act, for sure, they started to get more into it. The girls started to look like they were having more fun. I think after the 3rd act is when they really started to get into it, because it was the first act, then the 2nd act, and then the 3rd act was them doing their solos. And then the 4th act, it was just like they all looked like they were having a blast. They were all goofing around, giggling. having a good time. But my sister was telling me there were only 7 of the girls in the show. And apparently 2 of them, because there's 9 members total, which I didn't know, but there's 9 members total. 2 of them are currently on like medical leave. They're absent for medical reasons. And then 1 of them had just come back from an injury. So I'm like, okay, that makes a little more sense. And again, if the tour locations on the shirt is correct, then we're like their 3rd to last stop. So it's St. Paul, then it said Denver, and then it said something else. And then they're at least done with the North America portion of the tour. Only complaint was that like the first few songs, they kind of seemed a little but it was really fun to see them all be goofy, silly, girly pops. I definitely want to check out more of their music. Bug really got into it. I would say specifically after they did Takedown. They did do Takedown during the solo portion, which, I mean, the whole arena went crazy for it. Like, that was the song that the whole arena was loudest for. And then after Takedown, she really got into it and was having a good time, which I love to see. So yeah, I had a really great time. I'm in love with Jiyu. I have to figure out how to say her name. And I did start Holy Boy. So I'm gonna go eat some food, and then I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts, feelings, and opinions about the very little bit that I've read of Holy Boy thus far. Okay, so as I was noting, I've literally read maybe all of 3 pages of Holy Boy so far. And I do have not necessarily thoughts. So first page is kind of like a news report, super short. It just has the headline, 2 bodies found dead in a Youngrain mansion. And then it has like 2 paragraphs about the situation. We get what I would probably call a prologue, and it is all of 1, 2, 3, 4 pages long. And the prologue was interesting. I'm gonna say like internal dialogue, but it is dialogue. Like it always, every single paragraph starts with a quote, but doesn't end with a quote. So you know it's like just a constantly one person. It is like the weirdest, almost ramblings, and it seems like they're potentially talking to someone else, but I don't know. But that could also be a red herring. Maybe they are talking to someone else, but they're on a phone, so we're only hearing their side of the conversation. It's very interesting, very bizarre. At first I was like, oh my god, is this how the whole book is going to go? But I have like read like the first paragraph of chapter 1, and it's not like that. But if we get a lot of sequences like that internal monologue, we'll see. We'll see. So I think the idol's the missing person. I knew that from the jump, that the idol was likely the missing person, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it's probably the article from the night that they kidnapped him. Because the 2 bodies, and technically there was a 3rd body, but it wasn't at like the scene of the crime, if you will. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so I have examples. I am roughly about 30% into Holy Boy. Chapter 1, absolutely loved because it included our K-pop idol. Now, we're currently in chapter 2, which is like the backstory of all the women. It's hit or miss. This is a thriller/crime novel. Compared to Western thriller and crime novels, I see how if you go into this as a Western reader, it could be a little lackluster. With that noted, the reason I have examples is that after reading specifically The Vegetarian, but also reading No Longer Human, I'm starting to get an understanding for just the general writing style of Korean and Japanese writing styles. I definitely see that there are a lot more, while there's like this sinister undertone to Holy Boy, it's a lot more subdued. It's a lot more getting into like the nitty-gritty details, specifically in the chapter I'm in, of like the women and like how they're all intertwined and interconnected. Like I'm literally staring at the family upstairs. None of this is true. The Paris apartment. I'm staring at these 3 books that are like kind of classically written thrillers for the Western world. And like at every twist and turn, there's always suspense. You're always like, what the fuck is going on? Like at the end of every chapter, you're always kind of left on like a cliffhanger. Whereas this is very much more subtle, and there's like elements and there's certain sentences that'll happen where I'm like, oh, but it's not me like racking my brain trying to figure out what's going on. But this, you're kind of like sitting with it, you're simmering with it, you're letting kind of like all of these elements come together. So I am intrigued / excited to see kind of how this all plays out. And I think the author, Lee Hee-ju, did really well where they ended chapter 1. Oh, the way chapter 1 ended, I was just like, ah! But then you go from that to chapter 2, which is again a lot. You're just like, you're in a stew. You're letting everything, you're adding on the ingredients one at a time. You're introducing each woman and how they're all connected and intertwined and how they all have these ties to Yosep. Yosep is the K-pop idol. And it's just like, everything is coming together, but it's just very slow and methodical in how it's all being told. Every time I think I know what the article is referring to, like new elements of the story are introduced. So I'm like, maybe that's not what that article is referring to. I definitely think I will not be DNFing this though. I definitely want to see where this is going. But long story short, I just wanted to acknowledge why I think a lot of people may set this one down. So I actually want to read to you guys the synopsis of this book because first and foremost, I myself have not fully read the synopsis. And the reason I haven't fully read the synopsis is because sometimes I like hopping into books and just letting the book take me where it shall. But I feel as though I am far enough in this one where it's a good time to read the synopsis. I always thought that this book was about 2 K-pop fanatics who were crazy about this idol and kidnapped him. Nay. 4 obsessed women kidnap a K-pop idol with unexpected and devastating results in this chilling, thought-provoking literary thriller. Literary thriller. Anytime you hear literary, you know it's not gonna be the same. If I had just read that blurb, I still would have bought it because, oh my god, like even if this ends up being like a 1 star, which I never rate 1 stars, if I read a book and I make it to the end, it's at minimum going to be 2 stars. I will still keep this book because I'm obsessed with this cover. It's just so cutesy pop, but also haunting and chilling. Anyways, 4 wildly different women are consumed by Yosep, a dreamy 21-year-old K-pop idol known as the Boy. Anna, a woman in her 40s, first sought the company of younger men to quell the loneliness she experienced accompanying her husband on his trips abroad. Mihi is a beautiful, young, but socially isolated woman. Nami is unpredictable with shamanic abilities, while Hie is Yosep's birth mother, who yearns to be reunited with her son. Each woman has her own reason for wanting Yosep, a yawning desperation that spawns a dangerous plan. Okay, we're just gonna stop there because I don't want any spoilers for me. I don't want any spoilers for you because sometimes I've been learning more and more that the synopsis of a book can sometimes contain major plot point spoilers. So I usually will just read like this top blurb and I'm like, if that sounds interesting, I'll read it. And then maybe I'll read like the first paragraph and some change. Because the first paragraph usually does give you like a good summation about what the book is going to be about. And then the rest of the synopsis is usually what delves into like more specific details. So we're going to stop there. But what was I going to say? Oh, the main reason I wanted to read you that synopsis was to not only clarify that it's about 4 different women, but we're currently learning about Hie. She is Yosep's biological mother. She calls him Johan because that's what she named him at birth. It's just so weird because she is connected to the 3 other women through Anna, who is the one who likes younger men. And Anna has met Josep before in the past and had like a really weird interaction with him. I feel like I didn't catch this, but I think they had like more of an actual connection of like she was an art teacher or something. I can't quite remember. But she pretty much just wants to like to have him as a sex doll. I just find it so fascinating. Like, I'm curious if Hiei knows that Anna has those type of intentions for Josep. Because I feel like if that was my biological son and this older woman wants to have her way with him, like, I would not be cool with that. I would be like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I know I don't have an actual relationship with my son, but I'm still going to be protective of him, and no way in hell and am I going to let some crazy Ajima anywhere near my baby boy. Nihi is the youngest of the group, and she, as noted in the synopsis, is like the most beautiful one. Because chapter 1 we did have Josep in it, he also acknowledged like of all of them she was the most beautiful. And Anna he was absolutely repulsed by. He's like, ugh, ugh. And also he can't remember anything. He doesn't remember anything. So even though he's met Anna before, he doesn't remember it. I am enjoying it, but it is definitely just like with No Ordinary Human, just like with The Vegetarian. If you want to see my thoughts, feelings, and opinions about those books, I did do a reading vlog where I read books that Hyunjin from Stray Kids has also read, so you can definitely check that out. I will have it linked down below. But with both of those books, kind of like my overwhelming thought process was like, these are definitely more literary fiction, which is not my personal cup of tea. And so on Storygraph, like, this book is flagged as a crime thriller, but I definitely think it should have lit fic attached to it as well, because the way the storytelling is happening is definitely more about like each individual character's personal story and not as like high suspense, high octane as I would like typically categorize a thriller. Part 3 has a lot of different point of views. So part 1 was Josep being in the mansion with the ladies. So this is like, they have already taken him and he is in their control. Part 2 was definitely learning the backstory of all the women and how they're all connected, and them kind of like concocting a plan to get their hands on Josep. And now we're into part 3, and I'm not very far into part 3, but part 3 starts with his agency finding and acknowledging that these weird presents are showing up. And then there was also a bomb threat at Josep's ex-girlfriend's agency's building. One of the staff members had a conversation with Josep, and he's like, this is going to be our game plan. This is what we're going to do. And that game plan, I think, ultimately is what ended up really helping with the kidnapping, unfortunately. As soon as he said what the plan was, I was like, that's how they were able to get their hands on him so easily. Foolish men! It goes from that, them having the conversation about what the plan is going to be, to kind of like get Josep's good favor back in the public eye, because the whole thing was that he was dating this other idol from another agency, and the fans do not like that. You better not be dating anyone, because there has to be that fantasy of, I can potentially get with my bias or with the idol. And so there was a whole hullabaloo. They ended up breaking up, and now there's like, he has a black mark on him because he was dating someone. So they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pull the sympathy card. And so they concocted this plan, stupidest plan on the face of the planet. After they concocted the plan, we're now back in the mansion with the women. I am enjoying this. I almost said I'm enjoying it a lot. Not quite yet. It definitely took me a second to really understand like what this is. And honestly, I probably would have DNF'd it again if I hadn't read No Longer Human and The Vegetarian first. And I have more of an understanding that East Asian literature is a lot more literary than I think what we're used to out west, or at least what I'm used to. I'll say that. I won't speak for entire geographic demographics, but for me personally, it's a lot more subdued. But there are still elements to it where I'm like, oh, ooh, that is my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the book so far. It's snowing. Keep your dirty hands off me. Wait and see. Finger licking you, cooking up a Super Bowl. In the kitchen, Michelin, irresistible. I eat up everybody's like a chef. Hottest trend, hot. I want more, a brand new flavor. Oh, she's so busted. Finger licking, yeah, we cooking up a Super Bowl. In the kitchen, Michelin, irresistible. Yeah, you know that it's true. Yeah, you know it's all for you. Yeah, yeah. 우리 손에 그어터. 나의 그 누가 coming on the top. Class, 더 높이 쌓여가는 car. My, can do this all day. Cause we don't give a fuck. Bum diggy diggy bum 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 bum. Top line 위에 발전되는 우리 show. Highlight digga. How about now you can't deny. But we're still running on this week cause we're never satisfied. 이미 야만한 complain. I can do this all day. Cause we don't give a fuck. 우리 손을 그어서. Top line 위에 발전되는 우리 show. Highlight digga 위에 버튼 blow. Top line, top line. Boom diggy diggy bum 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 bum. You dance like crazy. It's your la 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 la. 소리 질러 la 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 la. You don't care about me, it's okay. Let's go crazy until the sunrise. Oh, girls, guys, and ghouls. I was about to call y'all squirts. Went to the store. I really wanted to get those KPop Demon Hunter Ramyun puzzles, but I wish that the puzzles were just like the artwork that's on the ramyun container instead of the cutesy little chibi girlies. I literally would have bought them if they were the ramyun design. So yeah, I'm gonna go home, read a bunch of books, finish up this blog with book reading, and I found a Shirley Temple online that's a soju recipe, so we're gonna try that. Last time I had soju, didn't love it, but I'm curious if it'll be better in like a cocktail. I had myself a little morning today, and I want to show you guys what I got. So I drove to Minneapolis, which is not my favorite activity, but I love this place so much. It's called Moona Moono. Here's their cup. I got myself a little matcha, and I also got some goodies. So I wanted to show you guys the goodies I got. First and foremost, the whole reason, honestly, I went to the store was because I pre-ordered a sweatshirt that they came out with, and it's called the Loon Rising sweatshirt. This is a hefty sweatshirt. So this is the front, and it just has their little squiggly dude logo in the front. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with the back. And it's just their little Loon Rising design. And I'm obsessed with this. I love it so much. It is such a nice quality sweatshirt too. First walked in, grabbed a matcha, and then wandered around the store, which is dangerous because it has the cutest stuff ever. So to start, the thing that is holding all of my goodies, they had the cutest custom bag, has their name on it, and just like it has like a million little pockets in it. This thing's huge. This is like a Mary Poppins bag. I like totes like this because like I can put all of the random shit in the main compartment, but then I know I always have like a slot where I can always find like my keys, my wallet, my phone type of situation. So stone paper is I love stone paper so much. So I got some stone paper journals. I find that finding stone paper is really difficult to find in person and online. Obviously, when I see stone paper, I buy stone paper. Also, they had these little like incense matches that I got. Very excited to use these. And then also I purchased 2 cookbooks. Number 1 is Soju Party, and it's a signed copy. I haven't had my eyeballs on this cookbook since it came out, actually. And then I also purchased pocha, which is simple Korean food from the streets of Seoul. And it's just another cookbook. I'm very much the type of person, like, if I'm flipping through a cookbook and the pictures look good, I will buy it. Yeah, that's my little Moona Moono haul. I also went for a run this morning, and that's been my morning so far. It's been a really nice morning. So I am in like the final chapter, aka part of Holy Boy. Here's my qualm with it. This is definitely going to be like a 3. Like something absolutely cuckoo crazy banana has to happen. Like the mic has to be dropped so hard in this last section for me to rate it anything higher than a 3. Because even though I understand the pacing, the storytelling, all of that, even though I understand what's going on in this, it's just not my personal cup of tea. But I still want to like finish it to like see what ends up happening. Here's the thing. Like some crazy shit will happen. And then just like long soliloquies of what feels like nothing will go on. But we're in this one section where Anna is just being like, she practically, no, I'm not even going to say practically. She was about to rape this man. Here's the tea, the hot goss. Josip, he's trying to figure out what's going on, okay? He, this entire time, has, like, lost his memories, doesn't know what's going on. He thinks that he got in some crazy accident and that these women have all been taking care of him, right? Like, that's what delusion they're feeding to him. However, one day, they forgot to give him his pill, his medicine. And he's starting to be like, wait a second. I'm starting to remember things, and I didn't take my pill last night. And so now he's going out of his way not to take the pills. He's like, wait, I have like control of my body. They're saying I'm like paralyzed, but I have control of my body. And in this section where she was about to do horrible things to him, there's a part where I'm like, oh my God, I really hope he's not awake for this. I really hope he's not awake for this. This is so disgusting. I really hope he's not awake for this. I almost wish, though, like, if he was awake for it, he should have let her know, because I don't think she would have carried on if she thought he was awake. There was one part where it says, his heart was still beating. Its thumps echoed like hooves of a horse fiercely galloping toward death. And I'm like, oh, so it's not just like a regular heartbeat. Like, this man is like having heart palpitations over here. So I think he was awake for this. But thankfully, some dude showed up at the house looking for someone. This poor man. And these women, they're just so delusional. Every last one of them is so delusional in their own ways. I do just want to I want the book to be over. I don't think it's going to have like a pretty bow ending. Something crazy is going to happen. There have been these men washing up on shore, and all of them have had their genitals cut off. Everyone has been talking about like, oh, it's probably these cult members that are doing it. I think it's the women. Not all of them. Probably one of them, because a group of men just showed up to the house and they have to get rid of them somehow. Just an assumption. I think it's really weird that we've been hearing about these men washing ashore with their genitals cut off, and all of a sudden this group of men show up to the house. Babe, they have the demon sauce is a spicy mustard, which is totally fine, but it's purple and it's kind of weird because it's purple. Oh, spicy. Oh my God, that's so good. Good, yourself? Yeah, can I get the Saja Boy breakfast meal? Thank you. Good morning. Thank you so much. Hello. Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much. You as well. I'm so excited. Okay. Let's see what this is all about. At least with Hunt Tricks obviously came with other things, but you could have had like a kid's meal size box for this. Let's see who we got. There's gonna be a derpy in here for sure. Who did we get? Yes. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me eat this whole thing, but I do want to give my like initial thoughts on the sauce, because that's the only real thing that's unique about this is the sauce factor. Ooh. I'm too white for this. It's good, but it's spicy. That's good. I like it. I also like that it has everyone's signatures and mysteries is a question mark. I'm just excited I got Genu. I finished it. I know I would have, like, if I DNF'd this book, I would have been like, oh, I wonder how it ended, right? I wouldn't say I hated how it ended, but I didn't love how it ended. Also, it's interesting because the audiobook didn't include the epilogue. And the epilogue was interesting because the epilogue completely contradicts kind of like the thesis, I guess you could say, of the ending of the book. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I do have kind of like a rating system where I kind of rate each category, if you will, of a book, like characters, emotional impact, pacing, plot, originality, yada, yada, yada. And I give all of those categories 1 to 5 star rating. And then typically, I mean, I will say 99.9% of the time, the finalized average rating for like the entire book, I'm always like, yes, that adds up. So I ran Holy Boy through that and it gave it a 2.89, and I always typically round up. So I gave it a 3 star. I'm so conflicted about the ending. It was a twist. It was a twist for sure. But was it a good twist? I will be keeping Holy Boy just because the cover alone, I need to actually read you. So at the end of the book, it had like the author's note, it had the translator's note, and then it had the cover designer's note, which I love because the cover of the US edition is what sold it for me. Like, I would literally take this and frame it somewhere. The design process for Holy Boy was both unique and special. The direction was to create a K-pop style card, a collectible photo in a sleeve that devoted fans decorate with beads and stickers, but with a darker undertone, nodding to the intensity of infatuation and even the suffocating edge of obsession. As an illustrator, it's rare to work on a project so purely analog, one that requires a physical collage and stickers without relying on digital tools or scanning. Using materials often reserved for tween craft sessions proved unexpectedly engaging. While I usually iterate through hand lettering and compositional tweaks, in this case I produce countless physical variations instead. Ultimately, the team was most drawn to the versions where the reflective plastic sleeve obscured his face, creased and smudged as though gripped too long by eager hands. The final design aims to capture the tension between sweetness and devotion and the unsettling point where fandom tips into obsession. And Samantha, you slayed with this one, girl. Samantha Hahn, claps all around, because that's exactly what I felt. Like, this cover evoked so much out of me. I was like, yes, I get where we're going with this. And reading the note from her, I was like, I knew exactly where you were going with this. The cover of this book evoked more emotions out of me than the story itself. The story itself just, it had moments, it had elements, not to be like that a-hole. I would love to see this book rewritten as a high-stakes suspense thriller or a horror novel. Like, I would love, this is just too literary for me, but I would love to see this same sort of energy, but in like a slasher. I don't know, where Yosep is fighting for his life. I think that I would love that. Well, y'all, that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I had a blast at the Twice concert, and while Holy Boy was a little less than enthralling, this cover, if you liked the chaos of this video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We don't talk about K-pop often, but we sure as heck talk about books. I'll see you in the next one.